Good morning, everyone. William Clavey from The Car Guide. This week we're talking about electric cars, but more specifically we have a very special guest, Martin-Luc Archambault. In the business world here in Quebec, Martin-Luc is very popular. He started a lot of companies that were rather successful. He's also a dragon at the TV show Dans l'œil du dragon here in Quebec. But what's important for us here at The Car Guide is that we found out that Martin-Luc was a car guy, so we're going to go talk about cars with the man. Today I'm with a very special guest, Martin-Luc Archambault. So hi Martin-Luc, thank you for having us in your car today.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
So tell us, we're in a Tesla Model X, so you own a Tesla Model X. Tell us a bit about this vehicle.
It's the first, I would say, big electric SUV that actually pulls a lot and that drives like a car. So I mean, for me it's the ideal car to be with the kids. I mean, before that I had an Audi Q7 and it was kind of big, you know, it drives slow. It wasn't fun to drive, but this one drives just like the Model S.
Cool.
It's just as fast as the Model S. It's amazing, it's got space, and it's perfect for the family.
Awesome, and it's also equipped with autonomous mode from what I hear. So you're going to give us a short demonstration soon. We're in Montreal right now, so it's obviously, I think we both agree that Montreal is one of the hardest cities to drive in autonomous mode. So how does the autonomous mode work exactly in this vehicle?
So basically the car sees the lines and the cars ahead of it, and basically just follows the lines and follows the cars. So now I'm just putting it in
so
auto
that's
mode.
it. We're in autonomous mode.
I'm not driving, so it's following the van in front. It's trying to keep up with the lines.
Really cool.
It also sees the lights and stop signs, but for now it doesn't stop at the lights and stop signs. So right autonomous mode is really, really good. So look, there's a red light here. There's a van in front. I'm not doing anything.
Braking on its own.
Braking on its own, and it's gonna stop. And as soon as the light turns green, it's gonna go back, follow the van. So it's really good in traffic in the city.
Right.
You don't have to be angry and pissed off and, just, get cranky basically.
Yeah.
But it's really amazing on the highway. So
and right now you're not doing, oh my God.
light turn green, and it's just following traffic.
And when you first got into this car with this feature, were you like a bit stressful? Were you a bit?
Yeah, I mean, the first time you try it, you're like, really, is this gonna work? And you're always kind of,
gotta trust.
Hoping, you gotta trust the thing, but yeah, no, I mean, I think it's amazing.
Nice.
Especially on the highway for long drives. If you do like a 2-hour drive, 95% of the time you'll be on auto mode, and it's gonna drive itself, so you don't get tired driving.
Oh, this is really cool. It's also a bit freaky, but really cool at the same time. So we heard at the office that Martin-Luc was a car guy. That's one of the reasons why we're here with him today. Above everything else you've been doing, you're interested into cars. So you own this Tesla Model X. You also own the Model S, as you mentioned earlier. Do you still have any interest in gas-powered cars as a car enthusiast, or?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been a fan of cars. My first car was a Jeep Sahara. I loved doing off-roading and all that stuff. But as soon as I discovered, electric cars, I don't think I'll ever buy a gasoline car again.
No.
Although I would rent a gasoline car. I was just in France for a wedding, and let me just pull over here.
Yeah.
Too much traffic.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was just in France for a wedding, and I rented a Maserati Grand Cabrio.
Wow, nice.
Which is an amazing sports car, and I miss the noise.
Right.
The sound of sports gas cars. So that was really good, but I wouldn't buy it again. I mean, I think my next...
Once you've tasted electric propulsion, you don't want to go back to gasoline.
Yeah, exactly.
And
it's much faster.
Yeah, I think this thing is equipped with a feature called the ludicrous mode. Now we're not in the best streets right now to try, but I think this thing accelerates like 0 to 100 in what, 3 seconds?
Yeah, I think it's got to be like 3 seconds or a little bit under 3. I think the Model S P100D is under 3, like 2.8, and this one must be like 3 seconds. Imagine a big SUV.
It's insane.
That does 0 to 100 in 3 seconds. I mean, it's just crazy. It's faster than a Lamborghini.
That's right, and I mean, as you said, we're talking about a 7-passenger SUV, and one of the benefits of an electric car is that you don't have any more mechanical components. Actually, there are no mechanical. Oh, whoa! All right, so that was ludicrous mode.
I just wanted to surprise you so people see a reaction.
That works. I think that's the best way to experience it. I really did not see it coming.
So what was the question?
So I just want people to know that I get a chance to drive a lot of cars in my life, a lot of fast cars. I've never experienced something this quick. So my phone. All right, this is crazy. All right, so yeah, as I was saying, because electric cars have like no mechanical components, of course, you have a lot of space back here. So it's 7 passenger, as you said. You can fit pretty much anything. You get a flat floor. So for your family and the kids, I guess it's the best vehicle, as you said.
Yeah. So when I have the kids, I take the Model X, and when I don't have the kids, I take the Model S. It's the perfect car for the family.
Cool. So do you? So I'm guessing that talking about your kids, since I mean, are you like all of a sudden like some kind of like a cool dad because you're driving in a Tesla? How do they see that?
Yeah, I mean, I try to be very humble about this, and the really important thing for me and what's cool is not really owning a Tesla, it's the technology, owning a car that's very, very tech savvy and that can drive itself. I think my kids love the fact that, hey daddy, you're not driving, this is so cool, that's what's cool about it.
They like the technology.
Yeah, so, and they know it's good for the planet, or, at least it's gonna be good when technology improves, because now the challenge is the battery packs, right? How do you recycle them?
Right.
So electric cars need to be driven way more than gasoline car for the environmental impact to be about the same,
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, it's also good to see that the youth of today and the children are born in these technologies, and they're going to see them, and they're already understanding. I don't know, how old are your kids?
7 and 3.
So it's cool because at that age they're already understanding the benefits of an electric car. They're already seeing why we're driving in these vehicles and where it's heading. So so it's great to see that. And
what I think is, I don't even think my kids are gonna be driving. I mean, the cars are gonna drive themselves by that time. I mean, you've already seen what it can do now, and it improves every month. They release new software, and it just gets better and better.
Definitely, yeah. So we are heading. Actually, these were the questions that I wanted to ask you. But before I go talking about autonomous driving and electrification, obviously, we know, you've had. You sold your first startup, in your mid-20s, and it was quite successful. And afterwards, it seems that everything you've been touching seems to have been a success. So obviously, you now have access to a lot of cars, from a lot of car makers. Even so, do you still have a dream car, a vehicle in your mind that you want to purchase?
Yeah, just clarifying one thing. I mean, not everything I touch is a success, and actually I think it's important for people, and especially entrepreneurs that want to start their businesses, that they're going to get more failures than successes.
Right.
So it's very important to learn from your failures, to accept it, to embrace it, and to start again, and to just learn from your mistakes, do it again. I think maybe 1 or 2 out of 10 of the things I try actually really work. But what's important is to be humble about it and move on.
Accept failure.
So yeah, accept failure. And in terms of the next car, I would love to have a convertible. Although I guess I'm not gonna buy a gasoline convertible car.
That's finished.
I think it's finished. Although I love the Maserati, I have friends that have Ferraris and Porsches, and they're fun to drive. They're amazing. But I'm gonna wait for the new Tesla Roadster that they've somehow announced. Elon announced it a little bit on Twitter, but I think it might come out in maybe a year or 2 years, and it's going to be faster than anything. I'm pretty sure it's going to do 0 to 60 in 2 seconds. And,
I've always personally said that the day that Tesla's going to start building like real sports cars, like performance machines, they're going to dominate.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that. I mean, I understand your point of view, Martin-Luc, because after what you've shown me, the acceleration, the fact that you're not consuming any petrol at all, this is obviously like the way to go. But do you believe that electric cars are the future, or that there will be a transition towards something else?
I mean, I think we're in the transition right now, and I think if you look at the numbers, you don't have a choice but to embrace the fact that that's the future. I mean, in Europe, they said that all cars, 100% of the cars, need to be electric by 2035, I think.
Right.
Norway, 1 out of 3 cars has an electric plug on it. So it's just, it's moving forward very, very quickly. And especially, you would think that the US and Canada would embrace it, but actually 40% of the electric cars that have been sold last year were in China.
That's right. So China's really ahead of us.
It's amazing how fast it's growing. I think with the new, Model 3, and every other car manufacturer is actually building an electric car. You know, you got cars that are actually pretty cheap right now that are electric. So I think it's just moving forward, and as soon as you try it, you're sold, basically.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
and you really have to really experience it to feel it. I mean, and as we saw earlier, I mean, just the way this thing accelerates is really completely mind-blowing.
Yeah.
So my last and my next and final question is about autonomous technology. We've seen it in this vehicle. It's still in the preliminary stages. Do you believe that autonomous driving is here to help us, or is it there to? I mean, do you think, as a car enthusiast, you know, we like driving our vehicles? Do you believe it's going to take away some kind of a freedom that we have, or it's going to be here really to help us?
I think in terms of freedom, it's going to give you freedom, because I mean, to me and most car enthusiasts that I know hate driving in traffic. You know, they love driving on the track. They love driving on, you know, cool roads in Vermont or up north or wherever, right? But driving on the highway in traffic for 2 hours is painful for your mind. It irritates me, especially in the city. So all of those use cases of driving, which is probably 90% of the driving, should be autonomous.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, even Elon Musk said it. I mean, driving in traffic is soul sucking. I mean, you really feel your soul like being eaten up. So I do agree with you on that. On the on the traffic part, I think that, you know, in car companies, we're always going to have car fans, enthusiasts, and I believe there's always going to be a big off button if you want to take it off and drive your own car.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, there will be. But I think it's actually, if all cars in traffic would be autonomous, it would probably, you know, be safer, because you don't get people irritated. You don't have people like checking their phone, not checking in front.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think, you know, in traffic they should be autonomous.
Well, Martin-Luc, it was great chatting with you today. Thank you for this ride in your Tesla Model X. And thank you, everyone, for being with us. So have yourself a nice day.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks. It was great.